Prof, good morning and thanks for your time.
Morning.
So let's talk about how you gauged South Africans' unhappiness. How exactly did you go about doing this? I mean, looking at social media, and over what period of time?
I must tell you that at the moment, the South Africans they are not unhappy. The way we measure it is we measure tweets and then we do a sentiment analysis. And on each tweet, we will find if the sentiment is positive or negative. And from that, we will put it through a certain equation and therefore measure happiness. This happiness is measured on a scale from 1 to 5 and from 1 to 10 with a neutral point at 5. And over the last few days, we've actually found that South Africans is above this neutral point, varying between 5.8 and it actually went up as high as 6.8, which we are very happy about.
Okay, so we have some happy South Africans there just a few days before a major election. What are they happy about?
It is, my index can tell you if they're happy or not happy. And being happy, I must say, should be above 7. And the things that we pick up from the emotions, the positive emotions, is a lot about the elections, a lot of excitement about the elections. Then over the weekend, as being South Africans, we found many tweets about sports. And then on the other hand, we found things that made people unhappy. And that was, for example, sympathy with Malema's grandmother that passed away.
Okay, so this happiness that you were able to pick up when it came to elections, to the election, when it came to sporting events. So does it seem then, Prof, that the happiness was related to certain events that were happening at the time, not just a general quality of life? Or did you pose questions or gauge that by also throwing out bait there about whether you're happy with your life in general as a South African?
This is not based on questions at all. Nothing like survey data. This is what makes this index so unique, because survey data takes a very long time to get results on. So this index is based purely on tweets of South Africans. And as you know, people tweet about what they are thinking, how they are feeling, and that is what we use. So we analyze the sentiment with very, very sophisticated software. And by saying that, we put it through a whole system, and from there we can calculate the index.
Did it matter what time of day you were seeing or you were gauging or trying to measure happiness or unhappiness?
That's very interesting, and very interesting as it unfolds. And we see a very similar pattern every day. People are happier in the morning. So early morning this time that you are on, people are happy. Then it seems to drop off round about to 12 o'clock in the day, and then slightly start picking up with another peak time round about 5 in the afternoon.
Okay, so it's also confusing, Prof, because, I mean, if you chat to people in general, and, we've been out doing election stories and on the election bus, there's not a lot of happiness out there. So it's very surprising. I mean, can you explain maybe why when you talk to somebody and generally when you're out there having conversations about people, about their quality of life, why nobody seems happy, but yet when it comes to looking at tweets, or is it people who have access to tweets, people who can actually send out tweets and receive them and have that kind of technology, that their lives are a little bit different from those others on the ground?
This is a very, very interesting and very relevant question. Now, if we speak about happy in the science, the economic science, the word happy has a different meaning. So it's not the way we see it in normal language as happy, like you would laugh at a joke. There's actually 2 measures of happiness. The one is an evaluative happiness, and that is something related to quality of life. It will be measured by asking, how happy do you feel with your life as a whole? The other one is an affect happiness. This is a happiness about the mood you're feeling now. The question will be, how happy do you feel now, today, at this moment? And that is the one that we are measuring. And that relates to the tweets. And what is important about this one is it influences your decisions. And as economists, we would like to understand how people think and how do they make decisions. So you will see that it's not the same concepts. And if you look at South Africans, you will find the evaluative happiness lower, but you will find the affect happiness higher. And this is actually wonderful because it shows a very resilient nation.
Okay, well, that's certainly good news a couple of days before this big election. Thank you very much.